Oya's bringing some new beginnings and Shango's bringing in a blazing new moon. Let's talk about it.
Attention, star seeds. Attention, light workers. Attention, root workers. Attention, conjure doctors. Attention, nature-based faith practitioners. Attention, spiritualists. Attention, diviners. Attention, prophets. Attention, the spiritually eclectic. Attention for those seeking the road less traveled. This is time-sensitive cosmic information, so you might want to catch this. This is time-sensitive cosmic information that you can use in your prayers, manifestations, and other spirit works. Beam up now via this video or the audio link in this video's description box to get this on the fly esoteric wisdom. Beaming up now.
Ashe and Mojibatu Olodumare Bobo Egungun Ara Orun Bobo Orisha for another day to bask in the goodness of Onile's sacred earth. Every day given is very special, and here are a few details, cosmic details, pertaining to how. I'm iiiYansaje to you, Muse, and this is your early rising or your evening settling mystic forecast. Ekaro or Ekule, depending on if you're listening to this at 9:12 p.m. or at a few minutes after the 6 a.m. Ekule means good evening in Yoruba. Ekaro means good rising. Either way, it's all good. I'm iiiYansaje Muse, the Black Madonna of the airwaves, bringing you the music, the mystics, and the mojo on 222.9, the Mothership, internet radio for the road less traveled. And it's time to wind down your Wednesday. Those of you that are listening at 9:12, those of you that are listening in the rising, just hang tight. I'm going to make this quick so that you don't spend too much time talking about yesterday. Well, we are winding down Wednesday night, your Uranus ruled, Mercury ruled, or Yah venerated Wednesday. And that's the day, that's the climax of the week. And who doesn't love a good climax? Third eyes above sacrals as best you can. And this day brought a lot of new beginnings. And we got a little streak of 111 energy going on here because Wednesday brought about a daily numerology of the one on January 10th, and a new beginning coming in the form of Oya's transformations of a swift wind. So I'm really, really hoping that you guys got some positive winds of change. I don't hope it, I manifest it. How about that? Day 3 of the week is a day that the good book said, let there be lights in the galaxies, the planets, the solar systems, and the Most High created these things to communicate with her or him. However, that absolute amazing divine energy appears in its guise to you. We are winding down Ibashe or Joriru. That is the day of confusion in the Yoruba way. And what that means is when confusion comes to you, embrace it from a spiritual standpoint because it helps you to understand who you are from who you were from who you're becoming, who you are from who people may be trying to crunch you in to be. Ashe, ashe. I am broadcasting live from 7 portals right about now. So that's on my Twitter. If you're not already, follow there. If you are watching from my YouTube, make sure you're liking, sharing, and subscribing there so that you can not only be notified of this time-sensitive forecast, but you can also get the other visual aspects of 222.9, the Mothership Internet Radio. I'm also broadcasting from 3 Facebook pages, my iiiYansaje Muse Facebook page, the 222.9 The Mothership Facebook page, and my Thursdaily only spot, the Scarlet Serene, where we venerate Sango, learn secrets of the I Ching, and inner transformations that are required for us to reach our highest road. Ashe, ashe. Ashe. And of course, it has its matching Instagram, 2229 Thursdays, but that's more of the green room where you get to see me sip tea and flip tarot cards and drop things and cuss and all those kinds of things. So if you like the off the record, the bloopers kind of thing, then you want to join me here in my Instagram. And as always, I am cruising the airwaves of 222.9, the Mothership. Internet radio for the road less traveled, where we were just listening to Nina Simone's For Women. I like that song because it's a shape shifting energy right there in motion. Nina turns into four women right there in front of you, and shape shifting is Oya's middle name. Speaking of, back to this Oya Venerated Wednesday, we are in the third Wednesday of winter solstice and of Capricorn sea goat season. So expect some serious changes on that 111. And with that new beginning, with the nights with Oya, those of you that practice Orisha tradition, this is a really good time to offer Oya an eggplant, some red wine, and pray that that aspect of God makes the transformations in your life understandable. Because you never want to let Oya land a tornado where it could have been a cool breeze. Because she always sends the warnings that it's time for some changes. Ashe, and the moon tonight is waning along in the same house as the sun in the house of Capricorn. And Capricorn energy is about using your emotions as fuel to drive you up the side of the mountain, hence the sea goat. So assess everything that you've been through in life, not to sulk, not to reflect on negative energies or things like that, but to give thanks and to use it as fuel to drive you up the mountain. Because a lot of the times, the stories of our hard times and our testimonies are things that other people can use once you survived. So when you live to tell, you should do just that. You never know what it may do to help somebody else. And we're all here to raise the universal vibration, aren't we? Yes, we are. Here on the Mothership on Wednesdays, we've been jamming out in the key of the divine feminine with the exotic mothers of song. And when the clock strikes 12, for those of you that are listening at 9 p.m., when the clock strikes 12 and Oya passes that time clock to her husband Sango, and that Uranus and Mercury energy shifts over into Jupiter's expansion, we're going to get into the funky fire starter, fathers of song. So you definitely want to stay tuned in and beamed up to the Mothership Internet Radio, because Thursdays get lit. I am iiYansaje Muse, and this is your 9 p.m. or 6 a.m. Mystic Forecast on radio for the road less traveled, 222.9. Beam up. Did you enjoy your astrology sip in the Malbec Planetarium? I hope so.
Well, let's see how that energy expands when we take it inside for a deeper meaning with I Chings and Scarlet Serenes.
That's www.poetry/iiiCHINGS.
I bet you won't meet me there tomorrow. Ashe.
Thursdays reads Jupiter expansion, I Chings, sensual voices of the fathers, sacral chakra healing, Ibashe Sango, Ibashe Dada, Ibashe Aganju. Welcome to Thursdays on the Mothership, 222.9, beam up. And we're back. So, in case you're just now joining us, I'm iiiYansaje Muse, the Black Madonna of the airwaves, baby, bringing you the music, the mystics, and the mojo on 222.9 The Mothership, internet radio for the road less traveled. And let's talk about it. We are entering into Thursday rising on that 1111111 expansion energy. Yes. And January is not playing with us this year. Sango done snatched the full and the new moon because January 2024, they both come on Thursday, the day of expansion. That reminds me of the prayer of Jabez, so that you would bless me indeed and expand my territory. So I hope all of y'all are looking to expand your territories, especially if you're building a kingdom. Now, if you're building that shul bit, that ain't gonna get you too far. I don't think that the heavens are very keen or privy or excited about expanding thorn patches of spiritual debauchery. So make sure that when you expand your territory, you're doing something that's going to bless yourself and others. So, we still got some divine feminine too energy, but we got January 11th, 2024, and that's 11111 energy. Yes. And we got a new moon in the sea goat house. And new moons are what you use to set new intentions. So make sure that you set those new intentions on higher roads that you could have never imagined possible. Don't lean to your doubt. Don't think about what's practical. Allow yourself to be clear with the universe about what you want and how. Well, not how, because how's it, sorry about that. How you're going to take action towards it, not how it's going to happen. Because a lot of the times we limit ourselves because we too far into the spirit world's business. When you put your prayers in the air, know that God heard you and the universe will deliver on its divine timing, not yours. So be not deceived by the delays. This is some serious sea goat energy on your third Thursday of Capricorn season, new moon in Capricorn as well. And so, this is the season of running up the top of the mountain. That's what Capricorn energy is about, using the emotions to run up the side of the mountain. That's why you got the sea goat sign. So make sure that you give all the sea goats in your life some love because they're there to teach you all about that energy. If you were born on January 11th, happy solar return. May the ancestors, may a little mare, may the spirit guides bless you with many, many more, filled with Bobo Ire. And what does Bobo Ire mean? Many blessings. And, well, I'm still going to do just a little bit of zodiac dry snitching on you. Can't help it. If you were born on January 11th, you are kind, you're loyal, you're winsome, but secretive. Ooh, I like that. Secrets. Well, once you become a friend, it is for all time. But in your fidelity, you were apt to overlook serious faults in these friendships. All right, now, January 11th, babies, let's not wait till red flags become red curtains. And I'm not talking about this red curtain I'm wrapped up in. This is a prayer scarf to Sango. I ain't talking about the red I got on. But I'm talking about those red flags that people show you when they're taking more than they give. Let's not do that. That's spiritually abusive. Okay? All right. You will find success in businesses, politics, and or teaching, and you will make a happy and congenial marriage. Ashe, I like it. So, this Thursday rising, we are entering into Sea Goat season's third decan, which means if you're born between the 11th and the 22nd, you're actually half Virgo. So, these are the Capricorns that really like to put in that work, land in that practical earth grounding. So, when you have somebody in your life that's born 11, between the 11th and the 22nd, let them inspire you to put in that work. Because putting in work is stepping out on faith, and taking everyday practical action is just as spiritual as meditating and praying. just letting it be known. In the Kemetic way of the stars, we are in the season of Amun Ra until the 21st. And with the 12 figures of African spirituality system, we are in the season of the Baobab tree until February 3rd. We are only one planet into retrograde, and that is Uranus. So, Aquarian babies, y'all hang in there because we are going to be in Uranus retrograde for another 16 days. So, on the 27th, we will be retrograde free until April. But when Uranus is in retrograde, and yes, that's Oya's planet of changes, Ibaishe, where's my tea? Yeah, so when Uranus is in retrograde, Oya tends to stir things up in your life that make you question what you believe, how you believe it, and how you're going to go about practicing. Because to have a strong relationship with the divine, it has to be natural. And since all of us have our own unique design, we all have our own ways of connecting with the divine. So, in order for that to happen, sometimes Oya shakes things up, stirs things up to make you take a closer look at how you are demonstrating your faith. And whatever is coming about to make you demonstrate your faith in the way that's natural, don't be afraid to shed, to release anything that you don't truly believe in, that's not truly resonating with your spirit. Because in doing that, you are creating the energetic space for a more honest connection with the divine. And that's when it gets real. Ashe? Ashe. All right, so I'm going to wet my whistle real quick. And when I come back, we are going to talk about your Thursday winter solstice I Ching. I'm iiYansaje Muse, and this is Radio for the Road Less Traveled, 222.9, the Mothership. Beam up.
Thursday, prelude to the weekend. More relaxed energies creep in. Higher expanding thoughts by Jupiter's hand. Double-sided acts just relax the taxing last 3 days. Day 4 maximizes love today. Your own way as the energies sway, making way for the risen vibrations from yesterday. Pay tomorrow for many. Make a wish, toss a penny for plentiful blessings. For plentiful blessings to return expanded like fire. Thursday, prelude to the weekend. And iiYansaje Muse, short poem.
And we are back. So, those of you that are listening over the Mothership's airwaves, then continue to jam to the sounds of Sade's Jezebel. No pun intended. I just really like that song because it gives some meaning behind some things. Those of you that are watching from my Instagram, you get to watch me sip my tea and talk about this I Ching. But those of you that are watching from my Twitters, my YouTube, and from Facebook, you are looking at I Ching. Now, if Sango ain't talking loud in this I Ching, I don't know what is. Now, with this I Ching, we only have one hexagram to work with for the duration of winter solstice, and that is the 6. And what is the 6 in Orisha tradition? The number sacred to Sango. And when you have a double I Ching that lands on the same hexagram, that's the message in itself, and that message is stillness. And the bottom is that trigram of Kan. And Kan is the north wind, deep waters like the water that, the water that the Capricorn sea goat fan needs. And what I mean by the first trigram is this bottom part right here, okay? And it's a male energy, a driving forward energy, and it deals with exposure and solitude, which means take that stillness to be vulnerable with yourself in order to reach the Kian energy. And let me put these cards here so you can see here. There. That's the bottom trigram, the north wind. And then you have the northwest wind of Kian, which is also a male energy, complete supernatural spiritual ascendance, creativity. Shango is calling you to sit from inside, set on fire from within, and not to look for anything outside of yourself. This is the epitome of what hibernation season is all about. See, the animals got this down pat. This is why in the fall time you see them scrolling away to grub for the winter time. Because when the winter time comes, you're within. You're transforming from within. You're conceiving your new ideas. You are preparing for what you're going to birth in the spring. And so, what this I Ching revelation is saying is stay in those deep waters that you've worked so hard to avoid. Allow yourself to be vulnerable in your deepest, darkest emotional spaces because that's where you're going to find the clarity you need to reach your highest spiritual ascension. And when that happens, everything around you is going to change. Your relationships are going to change. The choices and places that you go are going to change. The types of energies that you associate with are going to change. And change, transformation is the very essence of what Shango is all about. But that change is from within. And that's why Shango is the element of fire. It represents passion, represents those inner changes. So, one thing you got to know about Shango energy is that cowardice is its taboo. So, it looks here like this I Ching message is calling you to be vulnerable with yourself, to take that courage from within, blaze it from the inside, and ascend to your highest level of spiritual being. And in doing that, everything around you will change in positive ways that you can even begin to imagine. There's my I Ching reading for the evening. Should you like a personal reading, then by all means, use the links in the lovely Shango care package that I put in this video's description box, and I'll put it again in the comments section. Those of you that are watching online. Those of you that are jamming on the Mothership's airways, then make sure you visit the website at www.poeticallymused.org/Mothership. I'm iiYansaje Muse, and this is your 9 p.m. or 6 a.m. Mystic Forecast. Beam up. Before sight. Before sight of shells, there were stanzas, stanzas of my soliloquies. Before sight of wisdom, before sight of worship, there was only my written word, Afoshe. Before sight of divination, before sight of Dafa, there were diaries, diaries in dozens. Before sight of revelation, before sight of reason, there were only my rhapsodomancies of rhyme, rearranged to rhythms of my lipstick-kissed alchemy, alchemies of my depths, my valleys, my mountains, my visions, my empathies, my testimonies, my joys, my sorrows, my love. Before sight of awakening, before sight of airwaves, before sight of anointing, there were archives of my allegories. Before sight of clarity, before sight of conversion and clergy call, there were collections of my ink prints. Before sight of prophecy, before sight of priestesshood, there was poetry, poetries that bear my fruit. There was me. And we are back. So, thank you for joining me for tonight's forecast or this rising's forecast. I certainly hope you gained some things that brought you some spiritual clarity and wisdom and things that you can add to your esoteric gumbo pot and put you on a higher level. But before I go, a promise is a promise, and I sure was talking all that jazz back in 2023, the last week of 2023, the calendar year anyway. And it was about the principle of Kwanzaa. And yes, 222.9, the Mothership Internet Radio, is dedicated to keeping Kwanzaa's principles year round. And in doing that, I'm going to share with you an excerpt from my book, Kwanzaa in Orbit, Kwanzaa Beamed Up, the Ujima chapter. So on Thursdays throughout 2024, I will be continuing to revisit the Ujima chapter throughout the year. Okay, so I'm going to ask a workbook question because this is also a workbook as to how you can use the Kwanzaa's principles year round to enhance your spiritual growth. And those of you that are unfamiliar with the Kwanzaa principle of Ujima, it is collective work and responsibility to build and maintain our communities together. So the questions that I want to put on your mind this Thursday are: question one, what challenges in our community do you contribute a solution to? Now, when it comes to the word community, we need to be clear on which community are we talking about. Here on the Mothership, we are talking about the spiritual community, the community of the ascended, the community of those who do right, the community of those who are working to manifest the kingdom of the Most High right here on earth as it was written. That's the community that I'm talking about. So, what challenges in our community do you contribute to? And what experiences in your life inspire you to be more individualistic? Think about those things. And if you'd like to grab a copy of this book, it is on the pin site link that is in the description box. And let me go ahead and put this in the comment section of this video. There we go. Also, keep in mind that 222.9 The Mothership is a listener-supported station. So if you're enjoying the music, the mystics, the mojo, then by all means, sow your seed of support into 222.9 The Mothership Internet Radio. I'm very, very excited that we've got a lot coming up, especially on the 22nd of February. It's going to be the 3rd year on the air. I'm loving it. But I got to get out of here because I got a lot more mojo to cook up to get on these airwaves and my exclusive orbit and all these things just for your spiritual growth and enjoyment. So on that note, remember that the sky is big enough for us all to be stars. And in the words of George Clinton, free your mind. Your ass will follow. This is 222.9 The Mothership. Internet radio for the road less traveled. Beam up. And have an amazing Sango fire blazing Thursday. If you're listening at 9 p.m., then stay tuned for the Wednesday nightly vision. I'm already ahead of myself of what love looks like. If you're listening at the AM, stay tuned for the rising Bimbe to Sango before it gets real fiery, real funky, with the old school R&B brothers of song. Beam up, Ashe. You know what makes orbits so fascinating? They move very, very fast, yet appear to be moving very slow. Actually, orbits do both simultaneously. 222.9 The Mothership Internet Radio is a 24/7 orbit rotation of old school grooves, planetary funk, and mystic teaching. Here's what's going on today in the Mothership's